Hello, I'm a bit late here. Chris Panic here. Welcome to another edition of Panic Uncracked. I'm your host, Chris Panic. I was lagging a little bit getting this video out. I was trying to look for the perfect playmat to use for Lorwyn. I have not been able to get any new mats or anything for the theme of the new set, so I decided to use this old playmat that I have. If y'all know or don't know, Vendilion Click. This actually, I believe, is... I don't know if this is the original art. I think this is the reprint art that they did for Modern Masters Modern Masters 2015. And this mat itself was also available Grand Prix Vegas. I don't know if I used this mat for a video or not. Also, I said 2015. The 1990s were just 10 years ago. So I'm dating myself a little bit. However, we're going to go into another collector box of Lorwyn Eclipsed. I don't know if any of y'all are playing this set. This set is actually pretty cool. I've only played a little limited, but I'm playing a lot of Commander. I'm playing Ashling in that deck. Never thought I'd like tribal decks, but man, Elementals. That deck is pretty fun as long as you get the right draws and everything. But yeah, I do like the set. I like the theme of putting minus counters on things and also getting value out of that. Some good bit of tribal, blah blah blah. I'm not a pro. I'm not one of those guys who can act like I know all the stuff about Magic. I have played for a long time. I am still very amateur as far as it comes to doing these videos and stuff. Although sooner or later I'm going to start doing some deck techs and show off some of my Commander decks and even sealed pools for work tournaments and things, or just in general. Oh, all right. So it's been a while. I need to keep things going for YouTube here, make sure I'm doing a video enough time. And also, I want to get through some of this Lorwyn that I have so I can eventually start moving on to some of the future sets, such as Ninja Turtles. That is the next set I am eyeballing a little bit, and I am kind of excited about it a little. All right, I don't know what the value is of these collector boxes at the current moment. I have not been able to see any packs of collector boosters at my local stores. Don't have much to remark on, but still, I'm doing this for fun. I'm not expecting a whole major big world of value here. I'm doing this to build my collection for the lulz and to pretend I know what I'm doing. All right, with that said, box number 2, pack number 1. Let's go. Yeah, I can't remember where I left off on when the last video I made was. I should be doing them once a week, but life happens. Everybody's got things that they have to take care of, and I had an interesting weekend. All right, so commons, uncommons, we're going to kind of sort through a little bit, but very quick and easy. Definitely some cool cards. Springleaf Drum, obviously classic if you all remember. Outrider. Some of the commons and uncommons in the last few sets have been pretty gas, I'm not going to lie. Boulder Dash, Gathering Stone, and I love when the collector boxes are set up this way. We can set the commons, uncommons down in this little hidden pile here. I still have enough room, but you can't see it on camera. Some very beautiful artwork on these lands, and behind this plains we got ourselves Reese the Evermore. Again, another some synergy about removing counters. Impulsivity. This has actually been a part of the Elementals deck that I've been playing. Not terrible. Snapcaster on an Elemental. Moonsong or Mornsong area. I can't remember. I was talking with somebody in my EDH play group about this one, but it's also such a unique card. It sounds like it's fun to play, but you're almost like giving everybody a tutor. Yeah, it's got its things. Kindle binding. There's something cool in the back here, but we got kin binding here, which nice little buff spell here. Behind there we have foil Ashling's Command. Not terrible. Something I'm thinking about popping into my Elementals deck, but just kind of haven't got there yet. And a Glisser Bairn. Ooh, it's kind of cool. I'm using this as my deck box. It's a nice some cute art here. That is pretty cute. It's adorable. Adorbs. All right, let's keep moving on. All right, I got to keep these videos up because I feel like I'm making myself rusty here. I need to eventually bolster my public speaking skills. All right, so pack number 2. Let's get through some of the commons. We're just gonna sort through. If anybody sees anything that's kind of stands out that I should have remarked on, feel free to say anything. Unbury, oh, yeah, kind of cool. I kind of like this Dawnblessed Pennant. I just can't quite tell if I would want to use this in any decks that I have. Shimmer Creek's kind of cool. This is also an elemental, but I'm not too crazy about the Vivid mechanic. I mean, I'm not saying for a sealed, but, you know, I pulled some of the Vivid cards out of my deck. Those are some of the first ones I pulled because you're only going to get a max of 5 value. You know, it's still decent, but it's just not what I want to do. Got some goblins there. All right, behind the forest, we got Kirill, followed by the Wickersmith tools. So when you get minus counters on a creature, put a charge counter on this, and then you can sack this to get that many scarecrows. Scarecrow Tribal, it's making its way. Figure of the Fable, I do like this card. Definitely kind of cool. You know, it harkens me back. I don't have examples. Figure of Destiny, I think it was, from the original Lorwyn. But yeah, I don't think we have anything similar. I think this is the only kind of card to note for the set. Tam, the Mindful First Year. And I kind of like this one. 1,000-Year Elixir. It's beautiful. You know, it's got its uses. Elf Warrior token followed by a plant token. We'll sleeve that up. Don't know if there's any kind of value to really remark on that, but it is something that I might consider putting in a deck if I don't end up putting up for sale in one of my, you know, good old storefronts. All right, I'll try to keep that somewhere in view along with the token, but 1,000-Year Elixir, not a bad hit. Not a bad hit at all. Pack 3, got to be careful with this pack openings. I may or may not have made a mistake recently, so I should pay attention. I'm not going to elaborate on said mistake here. And also, my skills are super rusty, but yeah, it is a case, like, I'm just sitting here talking to myself in my lone apartment. All right, commons and commons, blah, blah, blah. Just reading this one. Begin end step. If there's an elf in the graveyard, remove a minus a counter. It's pretty good, but you know, if you get the elves in the graveyard, swat away, blah, blah, blah. Tome Skinner. Not a bad effect. All right, Swamp. Behind said Swamp. We're looking. Oh boy. Okay, there we go. I'm enjoying this one. This one's going straight into the sleeve. Hopefully there's nothing else super crazy to remark here, but I know this card. Somebody I play with was looking for it, and it's also a tribal card that's probably going to, you know, really boost my Ashling deck. So we'll sleeve this bad boy up immediately until I decide what I'm going to do with it. These cards are just going to be my precious. You know, I do want to try to make some of my money back by selling some of the singles, but I'm starting to hoard again. I don't even want to show you my collection pile. Elemental Spectacle, Lava Leaper. It's not really doing much to note. Champion of the Weird. I do like this card. It's in my sealed pull for a tournament I'm playing. Pay 1 life, blight 2 on your own creature to blight somebody else's creature, or have them blight something. You can play this as long as you have enough creatures to do this to. Like, there's a lot, a lot this can do, I believe. You know, I'm not a pro player or anything, but I mean, you're going to need a goblin to behold and exile. But let's say you got a bunch of, like, you know, 1/1 goblin tokens. You know, you pay life, you blight 2 on one of them, and then you cause somebody else to do that. You're playing some kind of aristocrats thing. You know, a bunch of tokens. You can almost like wipe somebody's board at instant speed with this one. Okay, and a beauty. Look at this Temple Garden. Definitely getting sleeved. Let's look in the back. We got a Rhino Warrior and an Elemental. Voice of Resurgence token there. All right, Temple Garden. I just want to be very protective here of the cards. Try not to even cause the slightest nick, because, you know, it doesn't matter. Tap a tap. And yeah, the backside of this foil card. I shouldn't have put the sleeve on it, but you get the point here. These Shocklands are pretty awesome in this set. I think everybody knows that. The double-sided ones, of course, that you're getting out of these collector packs. But I do like seeing the regular ones. Everybody loves Shocks. Who doesn't love Shocklands? They've been printed to oblivion, and yet they're still in such high demand. Some of the best lands ever, am I right? All right, let's move to the next pack. We've got a Goblin Assassin. Let's keep moving through here. Council. I really wish there was a Kitchen Finks in here or something. I think that would have been kind of cool. Grave Shifter. Eclipsed Elf. I do like occasionally getting some random, you know, alt art uncommons. It's kind of really cool. Especially, they look really cool. Like, the fantasy theme and everything in this set. It's pretty awesome. Oh, Oko. Oh my god. That's trauma right there. All right, behind this mountain, we got ourselves a Dream Harvest, followed by a Sinister Gnarlback. Then yet another Ashling's Command, followed by Bristlebane Battler, and then another special guest, Wanderwine Prophets. Champion of Merfolk. When it deals damage to a player, it can sack it and take an extra turn. Pretty damn good. Pretty beautiful art card here. Yeah, I'll sleeve it if I can find my sleeves. All right, I'm a professional, everybody. I have everything I need just lined up everywhere. Just kidding. Like, I do have to find out where I'm putting my... I had to pull my sleeves out because I set them aside. I had to make room so I can do a video, you know? All right, special guests pile. All right, let's keep moving. I'm not even halfway through this, and it's already 12 minutes. This ain't going to be the longest video I've done. But it's going to be up there. All right. Having lots of fun with this Lorwyn here. All right. Let's keep scrolling through here. Blah, blah, blah. Pranksters, Assistants, Pummeler. Reaping Willow. Like, okay, this one's interesting. Remove 2 counters from this creature, and then you can Sun Titan something. It's kind of cool, like, you know, just speaking of the champion of the weird, you know, like things that you can blight this thing, and then if you have the mana, get, you know, take the counters off this to Sun Titan something. I mean, you see what I mean. All right. I don't need to keep wandering about that, rambling about it. You get the point. Lofty Dreams, followed by a Swamp, then a Slumbering Walker. Interesting. 2/-1 counters enters with, and at the beginning of the step you can move a counter, then you can return Dusk Titan here. We'll call it that. All right, Ferrophore, followed by Mirror Form. Ooh, very interesting card here. And then we got a Tristan, Callous Cultivator, and special version. That's holy shit. Okay, cool. I'm like, I wanted to kind of turn this over and show this, but then I got this one here too. Oh my god. Okay, so we got a Tristan, the Callous Cultivator, you know, an Elf Druid. When it enters, transforms, mill 3 cards, and if there's an elf in the graveyard, you get 2 life. But you can transform him into the Penitent Caller. I'm trying to get this on camera here. When this transforms, you mill 3 cards. You can put exile an elf from your graveyard to get somebody to lose 2 life. We'll set this up here, but then the Eridu, this is going to be the one that I'm definitely going to be sleeving up real soon, real soon. Creature spells you have Convoke. Ooh, art card. It's kind of pretty too. Don't spend too much time on this. Look at that angler. Deceit. All right. Beginning of your main phase, you can transform this into the Carrier of Twilight. The Lorwyn Shadowmoor theme in this, you know, like going back and forth, it's pretty awesome. God damn. Pardon my French, everybody. I do hit the not for kids button because I do anticipate that I occasionally will drop some some bombs here and there. Not draft bombs, F bombs. That's what I'm talking about. All right, let's keep going. God, I'm getting rusty at this. Probably getting a little too old for this. I might have to, should I retire? Joking, I have nothing better to do. I mean, I do have better things to do, but I just like to crack jokes that aren't that funny. All right, let's move these uncommons, because the bread and butter here, everybody wants to see, you know, some crazy pulls or whatever. If anybody's watching, I know I do get some views, but I'll still joke like I don't have any. I do like this art, just the windmills and all that. But behind this plains, we got the Lava Leaper, followed by Abundant Countryside, followed by Bray of Clan Stout Arm. And we got ourselves a Steam Vents. You know, there's a foil behind here, but you get the drill on this. It's got another side to it. Taster of Wares. Look at that. Steam Vents. It's a Cataclysm. Well, not quite. It's fire going up. We'll set that here, and then I'll sleeve it later. Taster of Wares. I've opened one of these in previous videos. Shapeshifter. Merfolk. Woo. It's funny. I haven't seen many... Oh, I've been getting art cards instead of the tokens. That's kind of interesting. All right. We're halfway through here, everybody. We're halfway through. All right. Hopefully nobody has fallen asleep yet. But that's totally fine. I'm getting close myself, so. Open these packs pretty terribly. All right. Hold. Feastling, Sentinel, Dream Caesar. This one I find interesting. It's like Thoughtseize. Looks like Thoughtseize's original art, but it's not quite Thoughtseize. And it's just a general discard spell. Glamour Might, Intimidation, Rhyme Chill. Very, very cool artwork on this. Same with here. All right, and then we got ourselves another one of them special art cards, the Goblin Warlock. Now, Behind the Island. Woo! Okay, cool. We got ourselves a General Hallowed Fountain. That's pretty cool. Followed by Subterfuge. Then a Disruptor of Currents. And yet another, like, well, my first video got one, but we got ourselves a Moon Shadow here. This card's so unique and so interesting. And then behind the Moon Shadow, we got Doran, Besieged by Time. I've sold actually both of these two cards, and I swear I almost want to say they came in like similar original packs, or same pack, but I don't know. I'd have to watch my video, but I don't watch my videos, so we'll sleeve that bad boy. Look at me making a big deal out of some regular random cards. You know, I know serialized cards are going to be the ones that you really want to like have showcased as like your hits, especially because this is standard legal and it's still kind of in print. You know, I'm doing the rabbit ears here. I think everybody at this point kind of knows about how hard it is getting to get some of the cards in these days. Hell, I'm trying to get a new binder and I'm struggling to find one in my LGS. I mean, of course I could go on the online route. I just kind of prefer to purchase locally and from stores. That's my decision. I'm not pushing anything on anybody else. But yeah, it's just, things are getting hard to get. It's crazy. Twin Flame Travelers. You know, I'm going to set this aside now. I need that for my Ashling deck. I know I have one set somewhere, but I'm just going to put that aside because it's going to make it a lot easier. Behind the Island. And Blaze Epiphany. Deals X damage to target creature. When that creature dies, exile that number of cards from your library equal to its power. Until end of next turn, you can play it. Sweet, cool. Sodden Verdure. Brigid's Command. Scuzzback Scrounger. Ooh, and we got a Glen Andra Guardian. I think I have something similar to this. This is not confetti foiled or whatnot, so it's not going to be super high value, but it's still a neat card. And I really like this, you know, this effect. So if you remember the original Glen Elandra, it was that you sack the creature to counter a spell, or not creature spell. This one is remove the counter from it to counter non-creature spell. So if you just keep blighting this thing, you have like a counterspell on a stick just hanging out and chilling. Elf token, treasure. I'm still thrown off by all the elves being 2/2s, but that's the only way they're surviving Bowmasters these days. So, man, the game's changing on us old geezers, you know? It's just not the same old Magic anymore. I don't even know what to make anymore about this stuff. I should sleeve that Hollowed Fountain, but let's keep everybody from waiting, because I know you all just want to see if I get something super cracked or not. All right, so I used to joke, I don't have any viewers, but I do have people who view. You know, I know a lot of you in real life, but I also know how YouTube works. You're looking for the hits. You're going to fast forward. You're going to seek. Just like we used to do with some of the not to be named VHS tapes back in the day. You know, fast forward, rewind, all that stuff. Oh my God, I got to stop. Morkant's Loyalist. I don't know how to pronounce this, but Elf Lord. And when this creature dies, you get a return an elf from your graveyard. I just like the art. It's pretty cool. Shimmer Wild's Growth, Elm, Ferric Strike, and then Forest. Behind, so we got Champion of the Clutchan, Lamentation, Deepway Navigator, some more merfolk support, some nice full art, Brigid Checklin's Heart, and of course Brigid Dune's Mind. We'll set that in one of these piles here, because I'm also looking at the Sunderflock that we have here. Costs X less to cast, where X is the greatest mana value among elementals. It's almost like a Psych Rift in a way, which is kind of cool. But not quite. It's like, what's the other effect? Somebody else. Oh my God, like, the rust is real, everybody. The rust is real. Sunderflock, we'll set that aside. I have one in my Ashling deck. But the catch is you actually have to cast it. Well, I think Evoke still counts for it. But you can't cheat it into play. You're just not going to get the double trigger on this one. But it's still a good thing to have, you know? Bounce everybody's creatures and then get in for that, you know, what is it, Jubilation pumped attack, +4, +4, +2 times 2. Nomad, Scoundrel, Cinder, Shorelurk. Actually, Loot. I'm definitely keeping an eye on elementals, but I'm starting to get a little interest in some goblins here because I got some ideas going. Blossoming Defense. Y'all remember this from Amonkhet, right? I think it was Amonkhet, or if it wasn't, it was Kaladesh. I think it was Kaladesh, but it was also... I can't remember. Kaladesh, that's where it came from. Very strong card. Oh boy, I probably should stop soon because I'm probably making A out of myself. Here's Johnny. All right. Oh, clumsy me. Clumsy me. You didn't see nothing. Nothing to see here. Behind the plains, we got the cool, good old Meek attack, followed by Belonging, Adept Water Shaper, Maryland, Fey Ascendant. I think I've seen some people running this in Commander. It's kind of cool. And Grub's Command, Groob. We'll set that up there. Elemental token, followed by an elemental token. All right, cool. All right, 2 more packs left. 2 more packs. Let's go. Let's see what we get here. I'm not expecting a world. I never expect a world. It's always nice when you get something cool, but I've opened enough duds. I wouldn't say duds, but I mean, I recently spent way too much money on some of the last 2 Final Fantasy packs at one of my local stores, and whew, I did not get much to note. I just feels bad, man. Wary Farmer, Feed the Flames, Flamecaster, Foul Knight, Shield Bearer, Stonebeck, Thirst for Identity, Darkness Descends. Oh my God, there's a metal album that's on Thrash Band. Oh my God. Prismatic Undercurrents. All right, Forest. We got another Doran, Besieged by Time, followed by Oft Nabbed Goat. Oh, this card is the fun one. You can draw a card and take it. You can pay 1 to draw a card and get control of the creature and put a minus a counter on it. When it dies, if it had 1 or more counters on it, its owner draws that many cards, and everybody else loses that life. So you can use it to get some cards, but eventually it's going to drain you for 5. Don't know if you want to do that or not. Bloodline Bidding. Return all creature cards of the chosen type from your graveyard. Blah, blah, blah. Vibrance. One of the Evoke Elementals from the set. This one, the Gruul version. You can deal 3 damage with a Lightning Bolt or search for land and get a life. That's about it. And Goliath Daydreamer. And then we got ourselves a Goblin token with a Fairy token. Cool. All right, last pack, everybody. Last pack. Here we go. Whew. Okay. Probably didn't make my money back on this one, but who cares? I've covered this many times. I'm doing this for the fun of it and to build my collection. All right, it's moving through here. Personify, and then the mountain. Followed by the mountain, we got the Flitterwing Nuisance, followed by Massive Mysteries. At first, I thought this would have been a better commander for the Elementals deck, but man, nah. 4 mana for the Evoke. Oh my god. And this thing here too, like, oh my god, it's just good in that deck. Kinscare Sentry, Formidable Speaker, followed by Tam, the Mindful First Year, and Ashling Rekindled, gold stamped. All right, I guess it's fitting. I started opening these cards talking about Ashling, and here we go. Got the gold stamped version of it here. I don't know if there's any value in these. I'll try to get rid of them somehow, but yeah. All right, well, that's it. Under the 30-minute mark. Got some decent hits here. I'll end up doing some lookups on some of these cards and see how it goes. All right. To anybody who may have watched, thanks for watching. And until next time, yeah, I don't have a good catchphrase yet. One day. Bye, everybody.